And here it is, the POCO F1, the most liked phone of the August month, I can say. Under 20,000 rupees, the flagship killer, and etc etc. So today we'll see how actually the phone performs, how actually the phone is. At the back you will see a POCO logo, in the bottom by Xiaomi, which looks great. I'm damn sure that it looks great. On the front there is a 6.1 inch screen, and at the back there are 5 plus 12 megapixel camera. That is totally cool. And talking of the phone, it feels great having a plastic in the flagship smartphone. First con that I see in this phone, like why this? But at the front you will see a 6.1 inch, a beautiful display which will make you feel that you are using a flagship. And at the back there is a plastic body, there are cameras, there is LED, there is a fingerprint sensor, and etc etc, and that's okay. Talking of a phone, it's quite similar, it's quite same like every other phone comes right now in this 2018 era. A big notch, good cameras, high performance, and high price. But POCO comes at 20,000 Indian rupees, which is way good deal. And at the bottom you will see a USB-C speakers, microphone, which is just okay, no such huge thing. And yes, this phone supports Qualcomm 4.0. At the right you will see buttons which are very good at this price range, and I would say that Xiaomi has done an amazing job. As this phone houses a 4000 mAh battery, this doesn't feel that bulky and heavy, but it's heavy. And the face unlock does very good because of the infrared sensor. The face unlock is damn fast, but the fingerprint is also great, and I would choose fingerprint over the face unlock because of millisecond delays. And as I told you, that fingerprint is coupled with the cameras, which totally looks great as perspective of design, if you say. And at the bottom you will see a chin, which is slightly wider than the other flagship smartphones, if you say. And if you see Honor Play, that has little bit smaller chin, but it's so far so good. The Snapdragon 845 is here, 4000 mAh battery is here, iPhone X like design is here. As this is the little version of Xiaomi Mi 8, the Xiaomi has done an amazing job by launching POCO series. POCO F1 gives you Snapdragon 845, 6 GB of RAM. Even though you can hide the notch in the settings, and the phone still looks cool. Hiding the notch makes the phone kind of 2017, but it looks cool. It's like old school, and having a notch makes you feel like you are using a 2018 smartphone. The Xiaomi launcher, the POCO launcher, is definitely great on the phone. It's fast, it's accurate, there are no animation lag, just like the older MIUI, as Xiaomi has optimized this MIUI just for the POCO F1, and it feels great. The UI experience on MIUI, this MIUI is great, and personally this is my favorite MIUI, I would say. And if you are getting a call and you eventually cut it or swipe it up or answer it, you will see a call icon in the left notch. That is great. And even though if you want much faster speed, you can go into developer setting and slow down the transaction rates, like 0.5, it'll faster enough. Yes, that's cool. Now come back to camera. The camera on the smartphones are 12 plus 5 megapixel, as I told you, and front facing is 20 megapixel. Now let's see how the phone performs with the camera. There are a couple of other modes, just like AI, HDR, manual camera, and etc etc. But while taking the photos from 20 megapixel front camera, the portrait was definitely great. The portrait, I actually like the portrait from the POCO F1, and rear camera isn't that bad. How people are saying that rear camera is just average or etc, but in 20,000 is definitely a great deal, and I would say it's a pro over the cons. And the cons is the cameras are not that great, but for 20,000 they are definitely great. It's kind of 50-50. You can consider this phone for 20,000, 845, 4000 mAh battery, and the front facing camera is not that optimized, but I would say that the Xiaomi will push an update for this kind of optimization. And 1080p with stabilization looks damn amazing, but if you want a 4K, you won't get a stabilization. You can even record slow motion at 1080p 240 frames per second. That is cool, but so far so good. The Xiaomi has done an amazing job by putting 845 in a 20,000 smartphone, and the performance is super cool because of the liquid cooler. But what I found bad is the notch isn't optimized for the PUBG. That is the most hyped and most played game right now in India or over the world. But while playing the game with HDR, that is the highest setting, ultra frame rates, realistic mode, that is my favorite settings on the smartphone, did pretty great. I played the game for kind of two hours, and that was strictly great. the phone didn't heat up that much. And even though if phone gets heat up, the liquid cooling technology works like charm. And now how the liquid cooling works, the water gets evaporate and later on the water again come back in its real form, like for heavy performance it'll again ready to gets evaporate. So that's kind of typical thing, but let it go. And the phone actually did very great while in testing cases, and I would definitely recommend this phone for 20,000 rupees. You will get to see a flagship kind of experience. You will get to see slightly faster performance than the 835 or you can say 970 Kirin. But there are some cons too, like it doesn't has an infrared blaster, it doesn't has NFC, it doesn't has a couple of other things that maybe for some users it is important. But so far if you can neglect those things, this is the best phone you can get for the 20,000 rupees. One more thing, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and hit like the video if you liked it, and share with your couple of friends who are interested in getting this smartphone. And I'll see you in my next one. Peace.